Good morning, namaste. I hear the music down in my soul. I hear the music down in my soul. I hear the music down in my soul. And the whole wide world is my home. I've got a new day down in my soul. I've got a new day down in my soul. I've got a new day down in my soul. And the whole wide world is my home. I love the silence down in my soul. I love the silence down in my soul. I love the silence down in my soul. And the whole wide world is my home. I feel the power down in my soul. I feel the power down in my soul. I feel the power down in my soul. And the whole wide world is my home. Yes, it is. And the whole wide world is my home.
Thank you so much, Kong. Love that song. So, welcome everybody to Namaste Centers for Spiritual Living, and welcome to our Sunday meditation. So, let's begin. First, I'm going to invite you, if you're so called, to close your eyes. And let's begin with a long, deep breath. As you take another, hold it for a moment, and then slowly exhale, allowing any tension to just melt away as you gradually relax more and more deeply with each breath. Know that right where you are safe. Feel the chair supporting you or whatever you're sitting on or laying on. And continue breathing slowly and gently as you bring your awareness to the top of your head. Sense or imagine a feeling of relaxation beginning to spread down from the top of your scalp. Allow all the muscles in your forehead and temple to relax. Allow your eye muscles to release. Let your cheeks and jaw soften and let go of all the tension. I always like to just extend my jaw and then release. Now let this peaceful feeling flow down your neck, loosening all the muscles and every fiber. As we continue this, taking that deep breath, allowing that relaxing feeling to become deeper and warmer, working its way deep into all the muscles of your shoulders, soothing them, releasing them. Feel it continuing down your body. As your body relaxes, Know that your mind relaxes and all your thoughts become lighter, slipping further and further into a dreamlike state of stillness and relaxation. Allow your entire body to relax completely and allow any remaining tension from anywhere in your body to flow out through the tips of your toes. You are comfortable, peaceful, and relaxed. And from that place now, it is time to leave the external world behind as we go on an inner journey, a journey to a place of deep inner stillness. Picture yourself walking through a busy city street, full of shops and businesses. You see crowds of people hurrying from one place to another. Cars and bus lines, taxis, all crowding the roads, crawling through the city bumper to bumper. Up ahead, though, next to the sidewalk, you notice a narrow doorway between two buildings. A small opening that looks like a cozy retreat from the hustle and bustle of the world around you. At the doorway, step inside the narrow entrance. It's dimly lit and inviting, sheltering you from the outside world. Take a few steps deeper inside the entrance, and as you do so, you arrive at the top of a flight of stairs. Slowly make your way down the steps. As you do so, the sound of the city begins to fade away. With each step, you feel yourself moving away from the noise of the world and down to a place of deep quiet. Gradually descending, sinking deeper and deeper into a state of peaceful relaxation. Once at the bottom of the staircase, you're feeling calm and deeply relaxed. You can barely hear any noise or sounds from the street above. Feels and seems very far away. Before you is a tall wooden door with no handle, no way to open the door. But as you look more closely, you will notice the words "released" carved upon the surface. Contemplate this word. Feel the essence of the word, release. As you do, you slowly begin to feel a sensation of opening, of letting go, of releasing. And before you, the door unlocks, its old hinges creaking as it slowly opens, revealing a small round room, a library filled with bookcases, bookshelves, and a tall dome ceiling. As you step inside, the door slowly closes behind you. This is a private place, secluded, inviting, very, very quiet, serene, and contentment. In the center of the room sits a wooden desk and upon it lies an old, large, dust-covered book. You pick the book up and feel the weight of it in your hands. You feel a sense of wonder as you behold this grand old book. You open it. You notice that all the pages are blank. This is a book of freedom. It has the power to free you from anything in your life that might be bothering you or weighing you down. It is now time to write in the book. Take a moment and think about anything that is troubling you in your life. Bring to mind any situation that seems to be blocking you, any forthcoming event that frightens you, any person that you are in conflict with, any negative feelings that are holding on to. Write about anything that you feel is holding you back or that burdens you. There is no right or wrong way to do this. Simply feel or imagine your thoughts and feelings being imprinted into the book. Allow the images to form in your mind and allow those feelings to flow. Let them flow out onto the pages of the book, allowing the book to absorb them all. And as the pages fill with words and pictures, you begin to feel lighter, more positive. You have been seen. You have been understood. You feel reassured and relieved. And when you're ready, close the book. And as you close the book and you look around, you notice that the dome roof above begins to open slowly. As it opens, it's revealing a clear blue sky above. As you stand observing the sky, you gently raise your forearms and hands with your palms facing away from you. And as you do that, your body begins to float and your feet lift off the floor. A wave of exultation flows through you as you realize that you have the freedom to fly anywhere you choose. You raise your hands and you float higher. When you lower them, you descend gently and safely. With effortless ease, you begin to float towards the open roof above you, gliding up and out of the room, slowly up into the sky. You feel a wondrous sense of freedom as you fly higher and higher into the sky. You see the city below you, leaving further away. You gradually become smaller and smaller. You are leaving the world behind as you're floating higher up into the heavens, passing beyond clouds, feeling even more joyful and more free. The floating sensation is profoundly relaxing. You slip deeper into a state of complete stillness, feeling as though you are 1,000,000 miles away from anything or anyone. Yet you feel connected to the entire universe. You feel vast, weightless, timeless. From deep within the silent space inside, you hear a voice. Its loving words echo in your mind. I am without beginning or ending. I am eternal. I am free to experience life in any way I choose. My consciousness is not bound by space or time. Like the universe itself, I am limitless. I am a vast, unified wholeness. I am free from all concerns about the past and the future. My life is in perfect order and it unfolds according to a perfect plan. I do not strive to attain the things that I desire. I simply allow them to flow to me. I am calm in the knowledge that all my needs are taken care of. I am open to all of life experiences. I do not judge these moments. I welcome them, I observe them, and I accept them all. In the quiet spaces between my thoughts, inspiration comes to me. All becomes clear. I rise effortlessly above all challenges to a place of serenity and knowingness. Every day, in every way, my life becomes more and more harmonious. Now it is time to return home, to return to your wonderful life on earth. So as you take one last look around to the infinite, glorious expanse of space, know that you can return here at any time you choose, at any time you seek clarity. But now you gently lower your hands and begin to drift back down towards the earth. You enter back through the open roof of the library, gliding down. Your feet gently rest on the floor. You feel relaxed and refreshed, lighter and so much stronger than when you first arrived. The large book still rests on the desk, and you open it up and notice that once again the pages are empty. During your journey into space, it also has been cleansed. Only pure white paper remains. You close the book and make your way towards the door, which swings effortlessly open for you. Stepping out of the library and ascending the stairs back up. Making your way gently and slowly, you feel yourself becoming more alert, heading back to the city up above, but so much more refreshed than when you began. As you stand at the open doorway, looking out into the quiet city, you were feeling clear and calm and at peace with the world. And as you do so, you notice that all the traffic has disappeared. The hustle and bustle on the streets has disappeared. The streets are quiet and empty, strolling freely and confidently to any place you choose. You feel light, ready to return to a full waking state with this new sense of newfound freedom, moving back into your daily life, bringing that with you. You become aware of your physical body, begin to move your head, Maybe wiggle your shoulders and your fingers and toes. Open your eyes when you are ready. Oh, thank you, Namaste. I hope you enjoyed the meditation. I really was called to this and used my time for sharing to do an extra long meditation, and I hope that you got as much out of it as I did. So with that, I'm just going to take us right into an invocation. And from this place of freedom, this place of expanded knowingness of that oneness of spirit in, through, and as our life, what I know is that small, still voice, that connection with spirit is ever present, truly as close as our breath. So it's from this place of knowing this freedom, this call of spirit that whispers behind the ear of the hearing. I know it's always accessible. And it's from this place of expansion that I know that is the truth of our service today. I know it's from this place of deepening that Spirit's voice will be heard through Bobby's words and through the songs that Kong shares with us so beautifully. Through all hands that have prepared this time together. It is with deep gratitude that I know our community comes together, even through the virtual. I feel so connected to each of you, whether you be in Idaho or Long Beach or parts across the world. What I know is I feel you right here. And from that, I am so very grateful. So I know our time is blessed. And I just say, and so it is. Namaste. Blessings to all of you. I am so grateful to share this time with you. And I invite Kong back up to share his gift with us all. Thanks, Kong. So happy to see you.
Great to see you as well. And in the essence of freedom, this is Freedom by Richie Havens. Freedom, 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 freedom. Sometimes I feel like I'm a motherless child. Sometimes I feel like I'm a motherless child. Sometimes I feel like I'm a motherless child. A long way from my home. Sometimes I feel like I'm almost gone. Sometimes I feel like I'm almost gone. Sometimes I feel like I'm almost gone. A long way from my home. Freedom, 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 freedom. Clap your hands, 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 clap your hands. I got a telephone in my bosom. I can call him up anytime. I got a telephone in my bosom. I can call him up anytime. When I need my brother, I say brother. When I need my sister, I say when I say mother, I say mother, 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 mother. Yeah, freedom, 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 freedom.
All right, Bob.
Good morning, namaste. Welcome to Idaho. I welcome you to my homeland. You look out over the Snake River Plain. So grateful to be with you here today from my homeland, from my parents' home, and to share this time together with you. We've been on quite a freedom road trip, and so Nikki's expansive meditation was just perfect as a punctuation to at least my portion of this road trip with Reverend Bobby and Janine. And what a great time that we've had together, in time of rest and renewal, and just continuously celebrating freedom. And right now, as a matter of fact, we are celebrating freedom in the backyard, which you may not be able to see, but there's actually a firework going off in the backyard right behind me. But my dad is set off to celebrate more and more and more freedom. And it would be just about a year and a half that Rev Bobby and I actually had a conversation about doing service on the road. And I guess this is what it takes to be able to do service on the road. That was awesome. Thanks, Dad. And now I'm going to bring up Susan for some announcements. Please take it away, Susan, and many blessings to you, my friend.
Thank you, Chris, and thank you, Mr. Schreiber, for that extra special surprise. So I would invite all of you to join me in affirming who we are by reading, I honor the place in you in which the entire universe dwells. I honor the place in you in which is love, truth, light, and peace. When you are in that place in you and I am in that place in me, we recognize that we are one. Namaste. And I also invite you to join me in reading our mission statement. I learn practical science of mind tools and practice in a loving, connective, and vibrant community to reveal my power and change my life. And how do we do this? We awaken to the truth of who we are. We realize these truths. We transform our lives. And then we repeat the process over and over again. Some refer to it as the wash and rinse cycle. I like to refer to it as peeling back the layers of the onion. And as we do that, we just experience it at a deeper level and with more clarity. And finally, our power statements. We are a thriving, dynamic, spiritual community. Hashtag we are Namaste. Hashtag this stuff works. So we have a lot on the calendar, a lot of announcements. So jot it down, take out your calendar. The first thing up is this coming Tuesday, July 7th, 8 p.m. We have a town hall meeting during our usual happy hour time at 8 p.m. And we'll be talking a little bit more about the building and our next move and what we're going to do. I'm trying really hard to get rid of the glare, but if I take off my glasses, I can't see. So anyways, moving on. Happy hour every Tuesday. As I mentioned, the
town hall is July 7th. I also want to point out July 21st, we're going to be having a storytelling hour online. So if you're interested, just there's going to be more information coming. So make sure you're paying attention to the website and or the newsletter. Should be very exciting. And next Sunday is very, very special. On July 12th, Rev Bobby will be joined with our founding minister, Kristen Hawkins, and her dear sister, Kimberly Hawkins. And they will be doing a joint broadcast for service. The time will be different. It will be at 10:30 a.m., but the three of them will be presenting, I'm sure, a wonderful service. And how exciting to see the three of them back together again. And we have been redesigning our website, and we are looking for some photos of our community and some testimonials as to what brings you to Namaste. So if you're interested in being a part of our website, please contact Ray Bradford. He would like that information by this Wednesday. And then as a reminder, the second Wednesday of the month, that would be July 15th, we are having The Circle. It's a healing arts ministry, and it is coordinated by Valerie Day. Starting on July 20th, a new class is beginning, the Metaphysical Bible. It will go for 6 weeks on Mondays from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. If you're interested, please email Stephanie, our admin assistant. It should be a really good class based on Richard Rohr's teachings. And I invite you to join us. It's for 6 weeks on Monday nights from 6:30 to 8:30. Every Thursday, the choir gets together virtually and they sing together. So if you love to sing, you sing in the shower, you sing in your car, join them. Nikki's a part of it. I hear her every Thursday. She has so much fun, and they sound great. So please take a chance and join them. That's Thursdays, 6 p.m. on Zoom. And lastly, don't forget that you can start your day with some prayer and support at 7 a.m. with a practitioner leading spiritual practice, either on the phone or through Zoom. I invite you to join this practice. It is very powerful, and so many times it is so spot on as to what's going on in my life. And I am sure that it would be as supportive to you in your life. And now, the esteemed Rev Bobby.
Good morning, Namaste. It's so good to see you here from the Snake River Valley, which is here in American Falls, Idaho, and I get to share space with the Schreibers and their beautiful ranch is what we call it. And thank you, Bob Schreiber, for that wonderful 4th of July acknowledgement. And Carol Schreiber's in the house too. She's sitting here watching as well. What a lovely family. We're just so grateful to get to do this. I find it so interesting, Chris and I talking about this about a year and a half ago, of wanting to do some kind of virtual, and it took a pandemic for it to happen. But in that, I just want to say how amazing it is to go cross country, to see the United States in the way that we're seeing it, also to see how people are really caring for one another at this time. I think there's such a tendency for us to see what's not happening, what's not working. And what I'm also seeing is just how kind people are in our country and how beautiful they show up. Couple things as we get moving this morning. First, I want to thank Susan for, we have so much going on, and here we are in virtual church land, and there is a lot going on. Metaphysical Bible I'll be teaching, and I just want to invite you to join in that because it should be very interesting to study the Bible in a whole new way. It is a book to learn in a different way than what most of us have been taught. This month is Unchained Spirituality, which we're going to be talking about freedom through this month. And I find that as we've kind of laid out this year's themes, they've fallen in perfect alignment to support what is happening around us globally. And that to me tells us that we're listening in some way without even sometimes even knowing that. I'm going to ask Tori. Tori, would you put up the slide that kind of lists out for the month the theme so that folks can see that? We have some really great opportunities this month for you to be supported at this really interesting time. Free at Last, which is the talk today. Next Sunday, joining with the Hawkins sisters, Dr. Kristen Hawkins and her sister, having a chance to talk about None Are Free Until All Are Free. July 19th is going to be a really special service. Deborah Bongard is going to be speaking and has a really special message. And then July 26th, we're going to have Jeff Schlick come in. And I love anything that Jeff has to say. Both him and Deborah have been longtime practitioners, and it's going to be very exciting to hear what they have to say. The book of the month is Mandela's Way, and it's a book written about the leadership lessons that you can learn from Nelson Mandela, who truly exemplified what it meant to be free, even as he spent those 27 years in prison. So take a look at this book. It's beautiful. The stories in there are very beautiful. As his autobiographer wrote this book after Nelson Mandela's death. So with that, we're going to launch right now into our theme for the day. I'm going to bring Kong up. He's going to provide us with music. Good morning, Kong. It's good to see you.
Nice to see you as well.
And I know. Thank you. And I know that Kong just had a birthday. So if you're out there commenting on Facebook and YouTube, just wish this special young man a happy birthday. We're so grateful he's part of our community.
Special,
So
not so young anymore, man.
Oh, please. You still qualify. You may just be legal now. So
21 forever. This is, in honor of Happy 4th of July, everybody. And I know it's kind of a tough one to celebrate in some ways, but the song's actually interesting for that rock in the free world. It's not all about the good, but we still, I think it's still good to have pride and think about what we can change between now and the next. How we can make this world a better place. Colors on the street, red, white, and blue. People suffering in the people sleeping in the street. There's more on the side on the road. All I see is better off. Don't feel like taking, but I am. You try to forget it anywhere. People rocking through the world. People rocking through the world. People rocking through the world. People rocking in the free world. It's just enough. Under an open light, not to put it away, but it's too late to light. Never was good, never go to school, never get to fall in love, never get to do. Rock the world, rock the world.
Oh, okay.
Thank you for that, Kong. We had a little buffering just now of the music, so it's part of our virtual church experience, and we get to be present in that. Today, I wanted to talk about freedom, and it's no accident that our theme this month is about unchained spirituality and what that might mean. Freedom being something that we experience in many ways. Oftentimes, I would say there are ways that we don't appreciate. I'm kind of feeling in right now, one of our beloved practitioners, Joanne Bourgeois, fell and broke her hip this last week and suffered a stroke. And she's having this experience, and so I'm going to ask that our community hold her in prayer. We came together as board and practitioners and did that, but I also invite the community to do the same as she walks through her own journey of what freedom may or may not be, what it might feel like. The divine plan is one of freedom. The inherent nature of man is ever seeking to express itself in terms of freedom, because freedom is the birthright of every soul, every living soul. In Science of Mind, what we talk about is the varying attributes that are God. Those attributes are always contained as who we are. We may not recognize them, we may be blind to them, we may not necessarily have a perception to experience them, but they're always present. Freedom is one of them. And when I think about that, I mentioned earlier one of the book of the month being Mandela's leadership. Nelson Mandela is probably one of the most exemplified examples of freedom. He often talked about the fact that while he was in prison for 27 years, and that was from the time he was 44 to 71, that prison was his greatest teacher. Within prison, he learned self-control, he learned discipline, and he learned focus. In prison, he had to temper his responses to absolutely everything and everyone. The one thing he had to control, the only thing he could control, which is really the only thing that any of us can control, is ourselves, our own responses, reactions that we may have to certain things. Some of the experiences he had, and I think about this because it hit me in the biggest way, is the length of the cell that he was in for those 27 years was shorter than him. He could not lay down and stretch out in that cell. And that is the cell he was in for 27 years. He was about 6'2", and he was a boxer. That was his physical fitness. He boxed every day of his life. And it's what allowed him to release some of the anger and frustration that he felt that was happening during the apartheid in South Africa. For 27 years in that prison, he pondered policy. He pondered how to behave. He pondered how to be a leader, and he pondered about how to be a man. And he said the experience in prison invited him and grew him into being a very empathetic person. And he knew, he came to know and understand that most people in prison do not have that experience, that most people do not survive truly the experience of prison for the very nature of what it is. He knew that. And as he knew that within prison, he felt and had the experience of freedom with respect to opening up to that empathy that is truly something that we have to grow within ourselves. In the book, Mandela's Leadership, there were two things I'd like to talk about there are many lessons in leadership, but there are two that I'd like to talk about today. One is that courage is not the absence of fear. It is not innate, nor is it learned in a conventional way. It's not like someone can sit you down and talk to you about how to grow in courage. For him, it was about surrendering that made him human and helped him grow in courage. So one of the things that I'm having with respect to, and this is in no way in comparison to Nelson Mandela, but we've had this journey in the motorhome. And I have a fear of falling. And it's pretty good. It's not a fear of heights. It's actually a fear of falling. And there have been times in our motorhome trip, so we were coming over from Durango and we were coming over the $1 Million Highway. And Janine is driving, and Janine has such great experience in driving a vehicle. We have a motorhome that's 35 feet, and we're towing a Jeep, which adds about another 20 feet on top of that. So it's about 55 feet of vehicle. And as we're looking over the edge, I am starting to hyperventilate, truly. And Chris Schreiber, your board president, is sitting in the back. And I said, Chris, you got to come up here because I got to go in the back. Because I knew that what I was going to do was annoy Janine to the extent of continuing asking her to slow down, to do a host of things because of my own fear. So what happened is I stepped in the back, and I instead of being right in this big windshield and looking down at just drop-offs that were beyond what I could imagine falling, I sat in the back and just enjoyed the experience of taking photos and not being so up front. Now, that may seem like I walked away from it, but what I did learn from this is there's opportunity in here to do what I can, to be encouraged in places where I can in that moment, so that I can grow in other ways. So after we came down the mountain, we went to Capitol Reef, and then we went to Salt Lake City. And on the way to Salt Lake City, I decided to not pay attention to the road quite so much, because I tend to tell Janine to slow down, to tell her to look ahead. And so I decided to do some work on my talk and to focus on something other than that while I'm sitting in this passenger seat in front of this windshield that is completely exposed to everything. And I turned to Janine and I said, that was much better, wasn't it? Because I wasn't focusing on the road. And she said, yes, it was. It was a whole lot better. I say that because I think sometimes for me is I want to jump from not being afraid. I want to jump from being afraid to completely not being afraid. And that's not necessarily possible. But what I can do, and to explore a little bit of freedom, is just to move incrementally in ways in which my attention is not on my fear, but my attention is on something else that allows me to step out of it. And believe me, I noticed it. I noticed when I wasn't focused on the road that I wasn't quite so afraid. And that made a huge difference for me. So courage is not the absence of fear. And again, that might be small, but I felt that as I was reading the book and as I was having this experience of being on the road. And the one thing that scares me on the road is that big windshield and Janine moving these two big vehicles down the road. And I really want to enjoy that. I don't want to be in a place of fear, not enjoy that. And so there's a practice here that I've been invited into. The second thing that I wanted to talk about in his book is the fact of how we can see the good in others. Prison opened up Mandela's view of human nature rather than constricting it, which you would think it would be the opposite. As we've been driving across country, what the conversation has been around how beautiful nature shows itself. Nature has this innate quality of freedom in which it shows itself in such amazing ways. It does it in ways that look beautiful, which is the color, in the texture, but it also, nature shows up beautifully in how it can be destructive as well. And I think that has allowed, over this journey, it invites us to allow our own selves to grow and to evolve like nature does, to demonstrate beauty in different ways, which means that even people that we don't agree with, when you look at social media and you see some of the comments out there that just feel like, why don't people get it? I had an experience with someone on social media, an old friend, just in the last couple of days, that posted something and posted it to my timeline. Now, I did not place it on my timeline on Facebook, but what I did is I read it, and instead of defending my own position, I asked the question, tell me more. Tell me why you feel this way. Tell me what is happening for you. Tori, go ahead and put up that next slide about freedom lies not through the mysteries. The road to freedom lies not through mysteries of occult performances, but through the intelligent use of nature's forces and laws. I'm just going to stop it here just a moment. Nature is a perfect example of the fact that it follows it knows the law, and it operates within the law. It surrenders to the law. It does not go against the law. And so often as human beings, it's exactly what we do. We try to manipulate the law. We try to work around the law. We try a host of things. We believe that what we think about, we bring about. And I'm going to invite us all again in this time to look at what is happening around us, and let us not blame one person. Let us not blame a community of people. Let us try to understand one another. Let us find freedom in that. The last thing I wanted to share in this is that the topic Free at Last invites us to expand our understanding of what freedom is, how it works, and how to live in its greater idea. I'm having an experience right now with my father, which is truly feeling free. And it's because, I'm going to keep that part short, it is because, at least the story around it, it is because I feel free in my own expression, and whatever we believe that is differently, it is quite okay. It's not only okay, it's all there is. And neither one of us can control or change who we are. But can we rest in and enjoy in the freedom of allowing each other to have the experience and journey that we both came here to have? Freedom isn't what we think it is usually. It happens in loss, whether it's a beloved family member or a partner or a job. It could be a loss of home. It could be a host of things, but within all those things are freedom too. Freedom isn't just about me too, as we see in this time with Black Lives Matter. It's important for us to be conscious that there are places in our government, there are places in our culture where our beloved African American and Black family members do not feel free, and it is up to us to contribute to a greater sense of freedom. It invites me to allow and surrender into that greater idea of freedom for myself and others. So with that, I'm going to close with this question. How in my life am I living in freedom right now? And where in my life am I not seeing that I'm free? Where in my life am I not seeing that I'm free? Tori, I'm going to ask you to put that quote up one more time, that last one. You see, because the law of mind is a natural law in the spiritual world. Again, it's through intelligent use of the law. It's growing in our consciousness. It's growing in our consciousness that allows us to do it. I'm going to turn it over to Kong here as we go to our music, because we're going to have something special for you again as we end this beautiful 4th of July weekend service. So let us bring up Kong, and then we'll do a prayer and a little bit of celebration at the end of this beautiful service. So Tori, go ahead and bring Kong up.
Walking with the Spirit. Thank you, Bobby. Sorry, guys. Here we go. No more technical difficulties, I'm hoping. Sorry about that. I'm walking with the Spirit, and I'm talking to the Spirit, and I'm learning from the Spirit, and I'm turning to the Spirit, and I'm growing to the Spirit, and it's showing in the Spirit. walking with the Spirit in front of me. When I find myself in one of those situations that's leading to some kind of drama or confrontation, I go within and get plugged into my friend before it's too late. I put the Spirit in front of me to make those crooked places straight. Walking with the Spirit, I'm talking to the Spirit, and I'm learning from the Spirit, and I'm turning to the Spirit, and I'm growing in the Spirit, and it's showing in the Spirit, walking with the Spirit in front of me. When I find myself in one of those situations, then I don't know what to do, and I got no explanation. I go within, I get plugged in, I'm looking for a revelation. 10 times out of 9, things will work out fine without my participation. I'm walking with the Spirit, and I'm talking to the Spirit, and I'm learning from the Spirit, and I'm turning to the Spirit, and I'm growing in the Spirit, and it's showing in the Spirit. Walking with the Spirit in front of, walking with the Spirit in front of, walking with the Spirit in front of me. How was that?
That was good.
All right, good. No technical difficulties.
None at all. I was dancing in the Spirit and doing my whole thing. And there's about something going to happen behind me again, Kong. I don't know if you saw it last time. It is. I mean,
it's like war zone over there. Is loud.
Hold on a second, because it's going to happen again.
Here we go.
So here it is, everybody. So we're going to just have a little celebration. Bob Schreiber hosts. Yes, it keeps going. So for everyone out there virtually, this is our time of giving. And Bob just opened it up with fireworks. Thank you, Bob Schreiber. Let's just take that gift that we have. If we're whether it's an auto tithe or it's something that we reach out and do now, I want to thank the Schreibers for hosting us this last few days. Is he lighting another one? It's still going. I want to thank the Schreibers for hosting us this week. It's 4th of July, people. This is how we do it. US of A. Take that gift and hold that gift, and let us just know that in this beautiful celebration that we call life. This opportunity that we get to give. If you are spiritually fed by what you hear and share in this community we call Namaste, we ask that you give today in that special spirit of the reciprocal energy of the universe. It's been a beautiful week, and we do a lot to get ready for this Sunday. And I'm just so grateful for so many that give time, treasure, and talent to this beautiful expression of our community. It's been a joy and a blessing to continue to travel. And it's a joy and a blessing to bring to you the beautiful spaces and places of our country here in Idaho. I think we have another one coming. We do. Oh my goodness. I love that. So before we go to the next, I'm just going to say this. Let us just bless this offering right here and now and call it good. Tori, why don't you come up here with me and enjoy some fireworks with me?
Woohoo! Wow, that is so awesome.
Isn't it?
Last night until about midnight. So great. Whoa.
I think we just started something on fire. Just
That
so you
was
know,
great.
that we're in the middle of we're outside of the city or the town, which is American Falls, and let's just thank Bob. So everybody in this area, let's thank Bob Schreiber.
Thank you, Bob Schreiber! Woo!
That is Chris's beloved dad, and he's so excited to give us a little 4th of July celebration during service. I almost forgot where I was at. So let's go to our prayer on the screen. Let us close this service. Tori, I hate to say this, but I can't read it because I don't have my glasses on. Oh, here we go. So if you will read this with me. I release any belief in bondage or limitation as my life. Every part of me moves in perfect harmony and freedom. I cannot be tied, bound, nor made inactive, for I am free spirit, and the power of my life is from the one source. There is no inaction nor false action, and I am completely free. And so it is. That prayer is in the Science of Mind book. So I just encourage you to keep reading that book if you are having any experience of that book. It's got such great prayers in the back. Kong, thank you for joining us today, being part of this beautiful team.
Absolutely. Thank you, as always, for a wonderful talk. And, thank you, Namaste. I love you all. Happy 4th to everybody.
Thank you. And I'm just going to thank a few more people. Chris Schreiber for opening us up here in Idaho. I'm going to thank my lovely wife, Janine, who's holding the umbrella above my head as the wind goes by. The Schreibers for hosting us here in Idaho. Debbie Ann and Julie for being great welcomers today. I wanted to remind everybody, July 7th is our town hall, so make sure you join us for that. Nikki for that beautiful meditation. And it felt good to hear and experience the meditation she provided today. Susan, member of our board, doing the announcements today. And please make sure, I'm going to just do this plug for Ray right now, which is we're building our website. We want to know what you think about Namaste. So if you could send us a photo and a comment, send it to Ray. It's on the website. Go out there and take a look at it. It would be appreciated. So with that, let us close with our music, Kong.
So, Bobby, I did the last song early, I guess. Should I do it again, or do you guys want to hear the Rockin' in the Free World now without audio problems?
I think, why don't we go ahead and close with that? And I'm just going to say thank you for joining us on this beautiful Sunday. Let us enjoy a little bit of music from Kong as we close up this day.
Keep on rocking in the free world. 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 We got 1,000 points of light for the homeless man. We got a kinder, gentler machine gun hand. We got department stores and toilet paper, styrofoam boxes for ozone layer. Got a man of people says keep hope alive. Got fuel to burn, we got a rose to dry. Keep on rocking in the free world. 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 'Cause I'm walking with the Spirit, and I'm talking to the Spirit, and I'm learning from the Spirit, and I'm growing from the Spirit. Walking with the Spirit in front of me. Walking with the Spirit in front of me. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Nice little mashup there for you.
That was good. Thank you, Kong. I just want to thank everyone for joining me this week and have a wonderful, safe week. Please practice conscious safety, and we'll see you at our next special service next Sunday. And please don't forget the town hall on July 7th. Have a great week.